Welcome to this very special edition of WCS Game Day, powered by Walker Chevrolet, as we're live on WCTV here on location at Fairview High School for the annual kickoff of the Battle of 840. I'm your co-host, Darren Joins, alongside Tate Matthews and Dr. Jeremy Qualls. Gentlemen, one of the biggest rivalries in WCS. Throw in the fact that it's week one, it's game day, it's my TV 30, it's special Tate Matthews. Pretty good crowd here tonight, too.
Well, I heard Dr. Qualls tell the Fairview Nation, the student section behind him, that this is the best student section he's seen at a game day since he's been coming here for 9 years. I agree. I don't know if Mr. Butler got him amped up tonight. I don't know what it is, if it's the all yellow uniforms, but there's a different feeling in the student section tonight, and it's got me wondering. It's playing with my mind a little bit.
Dr. Qualls, what do you think?
9 years, birthplace of the first WCS game day here at Jacket Nation. 9 years ago, Tater, it was me and you. We came out here to in front of about 22 people, but this right here is a whole different feel, a whole different group, and this is what I'm talking about at Jacket Nation.
Hey, I'll tell you something else it is. The first live stream of WCS Game Day, thanks to Lance West and the folks at WCTV, Creed Henderson. Hey, and we've got the drum line here. Great job, guys. Great job. We appreciate you being here. Hey, I want to thank Walker Chevrolet for making this thing happen. We got a new sponsor, gentlemen, Gateway Tire, and there are 11 locations across Middle Tennessee. Water provided, as always, by Street Tuxedo. Of course, we talked about WCTV, Adidas, and Matthews Team Sports.
We've come a long way, Coach Joins, in 9 years. The support is second to none anywhere in Middle Tennessee, not just for the athletics, but the vision behind the athletics of WCS Sports Conference. What you've done, my friend, you've done a great job.
Well, listen, you had it set up on a platter for me. Tate, is it fair to say in WCS, it just actually means more?
Yeah, it does, and that tagline that I believe Dr. Qualls was the one, or you, it means more to you, right?
Well, yeah. Via the SEC.
That one was yours. That doesn't go over well with the other school systems.
Well,
but you know what?
They know it.
Hey, all you got to do is prove you wrong, right?
Hey, not only do they know it, if they know it, that means they're watching. And if they're watching, we're winning.
I like it.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, Spring Tree Media has done a great job for us for so many years, but I'm telling you right now, I watched him work like a dog all day. Mr. Mark Parrish stepped it up tonight, too. It sounds and looks pretty good here. I'm telling you, it does.
No surprise there, though.
Let's start here, fellas, talking a little bit about the Battle of 840. Page leads the overall series 21-13. They won last year's game 28-20 in week one. These teams have split the previous 12 meetings. Let's talk Fairview just a little bit. 6-5 record last year. Ended the season with the first round loss to Smith County 18-7. The last playoff win, the Jacket Nation, don't get mad at me, was actually November 9th, 2019 over East Nashville in the second round. Dr. Qualls, that last 3 years is not typical of Fairview.
It's not. You go back in the books and you start looking at the past records. I go back to one of my favorite Battle of 840 games of all time, 2016. You know what happened in 2000? We're back online. What about at Fairview? We're back.
Y'all ready?
Woo! It never goes perfect, but it's still game day, baby.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. You got so rowdy, you blew a fuse.
You blew a fuse. You blew the fuse, Fairview.
You blew a fuse.
It's never happened before.
All right, here we go, Tate. Tate Matthews, Fairview, you know this because we've been talking to them. They're excited about the beginning of this year, by the way.
Yeah, they are. And you mentioned the last, there's a COVID year in there and then a kind of COVID year. But real quick, I was looking at this Battle of 840. Have you ever looked at these scores? There were a lot of blowouts in the 70s, 80s, 90s,
agreed.
40-0, 48-0, 14-0, 41-0, 29-0. The last 10 years, last 9 years since we've been coming here, no blowout. This game is competitive every year. And usually when you think you've got it figured out, you don't. So, but back to Fairview, yeah, I think they're very excited about it. The Smith County loss last year, that was a good physical team. I think it's one that everybody on the Fairview side, including Coach Hughes, wish they had back. That happens sometimes, right? You guys were both coaches.
It happens.
You've been in those shoes. But I know they're very excited about this year. They got a new quarterback this year who, would have played more into the plans last year had – some injuries and sicknesses not been in play. But Mays McCoy, he's a guy I'm very high on. 6'2", 195 pounds. We all know him from basketball. He's one of the super sophomores in basketball. He can run it. He can throw it. You pair that with Layden Grant and Crawford Claxton coming back, they think they're going to be really good offensively.
Dr. Qualls, let's talk a little Page. I know the Fairview crowd wants to talk Page here. They want to hear about Page. Coach Rathbone entering his 11th year as head coach. Take it all the way to the state championship game last year, Dr. Qualls, a 42-34 loss to Knoxville Powell. He's 6-4 in the Battle of 840. He's 82-37 overall. I think he's underrated, to be honest with you, as a head coach.
He's completely underrated, man. You talk about one of the better jobs in the 9 years I've seen in head coaching. Last year was one of those games. You get into that state championship game. Page was in uncharted territory. Jake McNamara. Talk about him for a second. You want to talk about a Mike Bobo quarterback list to watch?
No question.
This guy put that team on his shoulders last year, literally came down to a slingshot with time expiring with a chance for them to win. And, it's an unbelievable, really remarkable run that they went on last year, Coach Jones. And it's like you said, sometimes it really goes under the radar of what kind of job he's done at Page.
Tate Matthews, I'm going to say it's a two-team race in 6-5A, Page and Nolensville. And I think it's a two-team race in Fairview's region with White House.
I agree. BDP, White House, they play tonight at Station Camp. It's going to come down to them. They've got a tough non-region schedule, really tough. So hopefully they get beat up in that. And they're two totally different teams, though, Fairview and Page. Fairview and White House. So I think I really like their chances. And then Page and Nolensville, I think that one's a little bit closer. So going to have a really explosive offense in Nolensville. Page, all they do is keep reloading. And Dr. Qualls was talking about Jake McNamara. I think he was the first Mike Bobo watch list.
The inaugural.
He was the inaugural.
He was?
I believe he was.
He was.
I believe he was. Hey, Colin Hurd, listen, this is what I'm excited about. Colin Hurd. Remember, he came in this game last year when McNamara got hurt.
That's right.
He takes him to the win. He's their best defensive player. He's very, very physical. It's going to be interesting to me how much I got to think you're going to see Weebush, the sophomore at quarterback. How many series, I'd like to know. But if they don't and they end up going with Colin Hurd, you want to talk – we talk about independence and the run of quarterbacks they've had. Look at the run of quarterbacks Page has had in the last 10 years. Colin Hurd or Weebush, one of them will be the next
Going back in the past there, one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time at Page.
Zachy Mizell, man.
Zachy Mizell. The house that Mizell built, Rudderville.
Hey, fellas, listen, since we blew a fuse, we're going to go through throw these WCS games outside of this game real quickly. Brentwood Blackman, Clint Finch in his second year as head coach. Got off to that slow start last year, 38-35 loss. Brentwood ended up 7-5. They lose 21-3 into the eventual state runner-up Summit in the second round. Blazing fast, started fast, but it actually flamed out. 5-5, they missed the playoffs last year. Tate, some losses for Brentwood, but Coach Finch is talking big about that offensive line.
Yeah, he loves it. He says it's one of the best. Now, remember, he's been the offense coordinator for a long time there. So he says it's one of the best since he's been there. That's not just 1 year. That's a long time. Everybody that you talked to that scrimmaged them this year said they're very, very physical. So I really like that. Coach Finch is a man of few words. And you can tell, like you noticed it, he is really, really high on them.
He believes in them.
Yeah, and they're going to need it because you've got a new quarterback this year. You've got new running backs. I think they've got – you remember they started a freshman and two sophomores at the wide receiver position in Matthew Manning and Clayton Merrill and then the other. And so they're back. They're big play guys. And then Grant Nelson, that's who they're going to go with the quarterback. They've had a preseason camp battle between Fontesha and Nelson. Not really a battle. I think it was getting our best 22 players on the field. Fontesha's their best defensive player. He's going to play safety. Grant Nelson's going with quarterback. and blazing fast. You know what happens when you play blazing fast and you onside kicks?
You get tired fast. That's what.
You get turd fast, and you also give the ball back to the Bruins fast. The Bruins had 6 turnovers last year. I didn't like that game. I think it's a different one.
Dr. Qualls, talk to us about Centennial and Overton. Centennial 6-4 last year, just missed out on the playoffs. I've said it early and often. I think Centennial's a playoff team this year. They need to come out in a dominant fashion tonight.
They do. They have to replace Connor Plowman. Connor Plowman, for Coach Kreisky and his squad, has been a great quarterback over the years. But you know what the doctor prescribes on week 1? The Overton Bobcats. That's what. So I think the Fighting Kreiskys really do well this week. And, it's a really good opportunity for Centennial Young. I've heard nothing but good things in preseason. They're getting better. And I think this week they have a good showing.
Hey, I got one word for you, or two words for you. 2 letters and a word for you. This Centennial defense, they fly around to the football. They're physical. What about the Wolfman's preseason All-American? DJ Curl, baby. Overton is not ready for DJ Curl. Turnover City tonight over on Franklin Road, right down there at Bobcat Lane.
Will DJ Curl get the turnover necklace tonight?
Is that part of the SLD Hall of Fame, Dr. Qualls? What's going on here?
It is part of the SLD Hall of Fame, but you know what? The Wolfman's not going to see this tonight because the live stream doesn't go through the air fast enough to the Chapel Hill area.
I really like Centennial's defense.
I do too. Hey, Tate, talk a little bit about Franklin Riverdale. It's year 2 for Alex Melton. The game's at Franklin. I think Franklin's much improved. It's a pretty darn good Riverdale team they're playing tonight, though.
Yeah, they're still building that offense back. And this is probably the best defense they'll see all year. Riverdale might have the best defense in the state. You lose Fisher Anderson and Bryce Sparks. That's tough.
It's tough.
But I think what Coach Melton's doing, he knew this was a building project when he got there. We talked about this at Media Day and a lot, and I think everybody agrees. You got to be realistic. Let's just get better, work on ourselves in this game. But I do believe this. No way they only win 1 game in the entire season. Probably not going to get one of those wins tonight, but let's get better tonight.
Dr. Qualls, what I think is one of the best games in the mid-state, Independence at CPA. It's the first game for Scott Stidham. He replaces a legend, Scott Blade. He's already making some noise. They love him out there, but he's undefeated right now also, too.
So this is one of those games we talk about. Week 1 is Murder's Row for WCS Sports Conference. We have a really tough conference schedule. This is a tough game, and I'm really tired of the Indy Nation losing to CPA. Let me tell you something. Scott Stidham coming in here bringing a different offense. It's going to be belly left, belly right, ball control, a little different than 47 times in the air tonight. Ty Lockwood drags across the middle at a very important time to pick up a first down, but don't sleep on Trey Hartwell. If you have not seen him in the last 6 months, that guy is a dude.
So it's a kind of a revenge game is what you're saying, Dr.
I'm
Qualls.
thinking that the Scott Stidham offense is going to keep them in it a little bit if they can manage defensively. I don't know enough about CPA offense. Tate, you can talk more about that. But I think that the offensive style of Coach Stidham keeps them in the game.
Hey, man, I think this CTE has gone to his head. Is he throwing shade at Blade? I mean,
I'm not throwing shade at Blade. I'm saying it's a different style of game.
I think Scott
47 times a game. You were talking about.
He threw shade at Blade.
You were talking about blazing fast. What happens in blazing fast? You give the ball.
Yeah.
If you're not connected on your passes, what happens? You give Coach Ingle Martin the ball at CPA.
Well, they're going to have to give it to him at Williamsport tonight. I think he's
at the World Series.
He's at a Little League game. Hey, Nolensville BGA. Here's another one I think we get a little bit of revenge, Tate. Last year we start the year off. We lose Nolensville to BGA. I think it might be a different story tonight.
Nolensville is much better this year. BGA is a team that's going to line up and run the ball, let them downhill, and that really wasn't something that Nolensville was very good at last year, defending that. One of the things they know if they're going to beat the team in the white jerseys right there is they're going to have to be able to defend that. They've worked a long time on it. But the offense, started off really fast last year and then kind of petered out. I don't think that happens again this year. Everybody's older, man. And it seems like we've been talking about them for all 9 years, but Samson Johnson,
Mr. Touchdown.
Mr. Touchdown, senior year. You got Chance Fitzgerald, Kobe Walton. Kobe might lead the mid-state in passing. So I think they're a little bit older this year, a little bit more mature, and they'll handle BGA better than they did last year.
Got the Nolensville-Page game on October 7th, a potential game day. John Street's on me every year. He says, when are we going to Nolensville? Well, maybe Page at Nolensville, and I think that might be for the region championship. All right, next game up. Got to make sure we get Dr. Qualls on this particular game. Ravenwood at MBA.
Let's make sure there's no shade going to be thrown at this one, so don't misconstrue what I'm about to say, Tate. The second best game of the night behind the Battle of 840 is Ravenwood MBA.
Great game.
Miniature Egg Bowl going out there. Chris Parson, Mississippi State. Coach joins. It's going to be electric out there at G2 Bar.
It really is, and I, to be honest with you, I know they've got Oakland on the schedule, but Tate, I feel like for Coach Hester and his troops, this is their toughest opponent of the year.
Yeah, I think so too, until I saw that Oakland score last night against Hendersonville, so I don't know. One of the two.
Wing T.
I'm an old Beach guy, so I'm a WCS guy now but listen, we don't care anything about Hindi.
The Commandos.
I know that. I'm just saying.
Don't go commando, Tate, is what I'm telling you.
Are you kidding me?
Don't go commando.
You trying to run the Wing T against the Wing T master over there?
I think this is a really good game. I know you and the Dash Man were talking about it last night. He said one score. It was really double digits. But again, that was kind of like that Brentwood Blackman game.
I think I called that, didn't I?
No, you didn't. He did.
Okay.
You just didn't correct him. And remember, Ravenwood turned the ball over 6 times, man. A Coach Hester Ravenwood team, they never do that.
First game back.
And they ended up making it a game. So it was a running clock, but it was because they kept giving the ball back. If you remember, it started off really, really well. I saw Chris Parsons scrimmage earlier this year. He's a year older, and again, I know we talk about it on Sports Connection all the time. Last year was his first year to start. I'm telling you, you're getting ready to see a different guy tonight. And, man, he can move the pocket, extend the play with his feet. He's going to make some big plays tonight.
The visor gets over the hump tonight, fellas. Chattanooga all the way. There's no stopping.
I agree with that. I don't know about tonight, but I definitely agree with that. I talk about this, Dr. Qualls. They lose Miles Pollard, Lee Millette, Brendan Dickinson, to name a few. They've got Parson back, but you can tell by talking to Will Hester. Last year it was everybody thinks we're the best team and we're just not as good as we were. You know, this year at Media Day he said, we talk about if we're going to be about it, we better talk about it.
So when Coach Hester says the only person can screw this up is me, that means you better look out. Coach Hester is not one to talk about his team like that. He does usually use that coach speak, Coach Joins, but let me tell you, the visor is poised. He's ready to get back. G2 Bar is back on the map. You heard it here. Tough to stop.
I can already hear your excitement thinking about the Battle of the Woods.
3 weeks.
On
T-minus 3 weeks.
Talk about blowing a fuse.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Hey, Tate, final game in WCS. Going to be a tough one now. Summit last year with a 50-14 opening week win. I think Henry County's going to remember it. They took that all the way to the state championship game. Summit did as runner-up. And don't forget about Henry County. Let's give them credit. They made it to the semis, but they came up a little short against the Patriots, 56-52, in just a classic game. This is a tough one for Coach Coleman and his team because of that youth. You lose Destin Wade, you lose Keaton Wade, you lose Brady Pierce. It's going to be a tough matchup tonight for Summit.
Yeah, I think you said it best earlier. If this game was week 4, week 5, week 6, you got to feel a little bit better about it. But Summit, I mean, they are literally almost everybody is new except for one guy. You know who's going to have to the man who's going to have to step up and say, get on my back. This is my team this year. That's Dominic Collis. I think he can do it. He's different than the Wades were, but he's an explosive guy, and he's a guy that I think is going to be really, really big towards their success. Austin Harvey at QB, hey, man, just don't get us beat. Manage the game.
Speaking of
And welcome back to Fairview High School. It's WCS Game Day. Battle of 840. It's time to talk to our coaches. Hey, listen, we've got to do this. I know Fairview will do a good job. We want a warm welcome for the Page head coach, Charles Rathbone, to the stage. Come on up, Coach. Let's hear you, Fairview. right, Coach Rathbone, 6-4 in the Battle of 840. Overall record of 82-37, 28-20 win in the Battle of 840 last year. Magical season, ending as state runner-up, but you've moved on and you've said, what about this year?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know. We got to see what we got. We got a lot of young guys playing. It's great to be out here at Fairview. You know, they're like we said all week long, they're mirror schools to us, so it's gonna be exciting. They're bigger than I thought, so I'm anxious to see what we can do. I think we'll be all right.
Dr. Qualls?
Yeah, Coach Rathbone, I'm going to publicly say what a fantastic job you did last year. We talk about a lot of the things that you do may go under the radar, but not for us. I think you did an unbelievable job coaching that team last year. Had yourself in a position to win the state championship, came up just a little bit short. And I know you don't rest on your laurels, but what does this game truly mean to your team?
Well, you know, it's a rival game, so we obviously want to win it, but I've always believed you can't base your season off of what happens in this game. You know, I mean, win or lose, you got to keep getting better and better and better and better. This was the closest game we had last year up until Independence. And you know, it was, I can't say it was the best thing we played, but it was the closest game we played. So, I mean, we just got to build off this game, win or lose. We got to build off this game and get better for next week and ultimately for week 3 when we play Spring Hill.
Can you say who's starting the quarterback?
Colin Hurd.
Okay, so
Okay, Colin
this
Hurd
is a non-region game, but it's a game you want to win. Colin's the man, but I do think you want to get the youngster ready, Weebush, right? So have you decided, is this a game where you say, hey, he's going to play 2 series, 1 series, 3 series, or is it all by feel?
No, I mean, you know, we don't really know what we're going to do just yet with him. I mean, I'm like them. If I'm them, I'm booing Colin too because he beat them last year. So I'd be upset with him too. So we're going to run with Colin, and we got JP and Weebush, and you know, we don't know what we're going to do just yet.
Coach, appreciate you being up here. Good luck. Always a special night here, Battle of 840.
Thank you all for having us.
Give it up for Coach Charles Rathbone, Page High School. As Coach Rathbone exits the stage, let's welcome to the stage your head coach, Fairview High School, Chris Hughes.
Hey, I think they made Coach Rathbone mad.
I think they made him mad too. Hey, I tell you who they're not going to make mad though is Coach Hughes. Coach Hughes, in his 16th year at Fairview High School, 6-9 in the Battle of 840. Coach, 111-43. That's a lot of wins, but I think you would admit the last 3 seasons, those first-round playoff losses haven't felt great. But I'm telling you, I could see the look in your eye on media day. I can see the look in the eye of your players. You are expecting a great season this year, and tonight's a great litmus test.
This is where we find out. I love this team. I love our seniors. I love what we've done so far. And I remember those 43 losses a lot more than I do them 111 wins.
Dr. Qualls?
Coach Hughes, I'm going to ask you the same question. I know this means something to the Fairview faithful. I know it means something to you. I know it means something to your team. The Battle of 840, great atmosphere. What does it really mean? Is this something that you circle? I know we look for postseason. I know we look for region wins, but let's talk about 840. That's a big game for Fairview.
Yeah, every game's a big game, but something about playing. This is the only team in Williamson County that we play. So it's our only test against Williamson County. Has some of the best football in the state, and this is a chance for us to play one of those teams. State runner-up last year. Rathbone did a great job. Page got a good, and we only lost to them by 8 last year. So I hope we beat them really bad tonight, and I hope they win the 5A state after that.
Tate?
I think I was thinking about it on the way over here. Don't you think what you all are saying are the keys to the game for the two? I think it's kind of funny how this thing's changed a little bit. When this game really started heating up, really when you got as the head coach, y'all were kind of the more spread out team, wide open offense, and they were bigger and trying to run the ball at you. And I feel like in the past few years, do you agree with that? It's kind of the roles have kind of reversed.
I'm going to say that Rathbone and I are very good, and we're coaching to our personnel, and we have. Yeah. They're more of the wide open, and we're more of, hey, you better line up and strap it on. And
which nobody ever thought you'd be like.
No, I hate it. But you know what? My kids are good at it. I'm not going to send my big lineman in pass pro every play when we got Layden Grant in the backfield. And I feel like it's coaching malpractice. Every year we line up and say, what are we going to be good at? And we look at our kids and we decide what we're going to do. Me and Coach Jackson, and I'm excited about this. Man, this the best fans in the county right here.
Well,
look at this guy. Look at that.
Coach Hughes, we were talking earlier. We've been coming 9 years. We've been coming down here. This is the 5th. GameDay was born here 9 years ago.
See?
This is the best student section Fairview has
Best
ever brought
student
out.
section. Hey, Dr. Oyer would be proud right now.
That's right.
Well, and I'm going to say this, and I know Fairview, the faithful, were talking about this. Page High School may have been the best atmosphere of last year's game day. They were rowdy. They were doing their thing. But I'm going to tell you this, Jacket Nation, they doing a pretty good job tonight too, Coach Hughes.
They didn't boo me as bad as they booed Rathbone.
No doubt. Well, Coach, we appreciate you being up here. Looking forward to the game. Thanks for having us.
Hey, we're going to get a Fairview win right there. Look at that.
We're going to take another quick break. We'll be back with our guest pickers. We're live on the campus of Fairview High School. Battle of 840 2022 edition. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Welcome back to Fairview High School. It's WCS Game Day. Before we get to tonight's pick'ems, I want to thank Walker Chevrolet and Franklin High School for making this thing happen. Gateway Tire, 11 locations across Middle Tennessee. Street Tuxedo in the house, providing the water tonight. Adidas, Matthews Team Sports, Mark Parrish, WCTV. Now it's pick'ems time. We've got Chris Butler from Fairview High School with us, newly named principal. And we've got Dr. Katie Hill from Page High School. Oh, they're so nice to Dr. Hill. Mr. Butler, first year as principal, but you're from this community. You're about this community. You love Fairview. You love the Battle of 840. Just go right down the list. You love it.
Yes, sir. Nothing beats Friday nights in the View. Student section, what day is it? It's game day in the View, and our theme this year is win the day, and we're looking to win tonight against Page.
I like it.
Wow,
I like it. I like
Mr.
it.
Butler started off hot.
Dr. Hill, good luck with that.
Dr. Hill, let me tell you, we were also pleasantly surprised last year because it's first year's tough. First year's tough. Your guest picking, we still talk about on Sports Connection and other game days. You brought the juice last year when it came to pick'ems.
Well, I appreciate that. I do my homework to get ready for this night because it is such a special tradition. This is a big game, and I mean, your kids did well. Congrats. You got them out here. Good job, Fairview.
I keep waiting for the butt there, Coach Jones.
All right, here we go. Let's jump right into the picks. Here we go. We're going to start off Brentwood hosting Blackman. What say you, Dr. Hill?
Well, you know, last year, Brentwood had a little bit of trouble with the turnovers, right? Well, Coach Finch, he got all his kids jobs at McDonald's making apple turnovers, so they're not going to have any this year. Brentwood for the win.
Nice, Brentwood.
Mr. Butler, what you got?
I know Coach Tigert over at Blackman really likes to turn it up on offense, but when you step on Brentwood's turf and that Brentwood student section gets after you, things change. Brentwood wins in a close one tonight.
Tate Matthews, who you got? Brentwood, Blackman.
I like what the two principals before me have said. Blackman's got a way of rubbing people the wrong way, and the blazing fast and all that.
They do.
So I'm with Dr. Hill. The turnover's not going to be a problem this year. I think the Bruins get a win, and I think they get it in double digits.
Wow, that's interesting that you say that.
Dr. Qualls, what you got?
You're a big Blaze fan.
The pundits have the week off this week, but they came in at the last minute, 6.5 minus Brentwood. I think they cover easily. Blazing fast goes blazing home quickly.
Stop by Blaze Pizza on your way out.
Game 2 in WCS. Game 2, Centennial at Overton. Dr. Hill, what say you?
Well, from what I hear, Dr. Dyson has played golf all summer and into the fall. So he stayed out of the way. Centennial was able to get ready, so Centennial for the win.
Okay.
Dr. Hill, she never disappoints. Mr. Butler, who you got?
I think this year Centennial and Coach Kreisky are really going to turn it around, turn the corner, and I see them starting off strong against a quality Overton team, so I see them taking the victory tonight.
Tate Matthews.
Everybody hates on the Cougars. Turn it around. They won 6 games last year. They just didn't make the playoffs. No, I'm not talking to you, but they just didn't make the playoffs in the toughest region in the state. That's why they won 6 games. They win 7 games this year. This is the first running clock boat race city of the 2022 season.
What?
It ain't
Bringing
even
out
close.
the hat already? Well, pundits came in and said 14. I think Centennial covers easily. They haven't been double-digit favorites in a long time. Just what the doctor ordered. Overton Bobcats, thanks for coming. Centennial wins.
Game number 3 in WCS. It's a tough one. It's one of the best matchups in Middle Tennessee. Independence, the Eagles travel to CPA. Dr. Hill.
Well, I think good old Jackson Matthews is going to be too much for Indy to handle. I got CPA for the win.
Wow.
Coach
I'm
Stidham.
speechless.
Coach Stidham's coming over from West Tennessee to Indy, and he's going to find out. Indy plays one of the toughest schedules around. Coach Martin and crew does a great job at CPA. I think CPA is going to be a little too much for Indy, but Indy Nation, you got a good one over there in Coach Stidham, so don't get too down after week 1.
Tate, do you agree with Dr. Hill?
Dr. Hill never disappoints. I'm pretty sure she got an assist on that one, and I think I know who, but that's okay.
Was
that's
it
okay.
Mr. RH, the initials? Is that who it was?
He might be standing on the turf field.
That's fantastic.
But the delivery, she needs to be a regular. And may I say this? I don't want to get off script, but I had a little PTSD when she walked up with that Patriot head, because I think that's the one the mascot was wearing last year when we got assaulted. So anyways, I don't know what's coming at the end of this.
Speaking
but
of
I think
bringing
it's going to
it.
be really good. Okay, who are we talking? CPA Independence. I'm so excited about Coach Scott Stidham. I don't think he brought the triple option with him from West Tennessee, so I think it's probably going to be a work in progress. Coach Martin's up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, watching the Little League World Series. I think CPA rolls, but Independence is going to be a force.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's not going to be well covered tonight. I'm going to give the first pump the brakes of the year tonight right now, because you don't win games sliding down a hill on cardboard at the Little League World Series. You got to go coach. And let me tell you something. Coach Stidham, ball control tray tonight. Hey, shocker, 1-0.
Wow, I like it, Dr. Qualls. Actually, I love it. Ravenwood MBA. Dr. Hill, maybe one of the other best games in the state. Ravenwood MBA. What say you, Dr. Hill?
Well, from what I understand, this is Coach Hester's second year back from Alabama. I think he brought some tricks with him. He stole probably from Coach Saban. So I think the win maybe going to Ravenwood tonight.
Wow.
Mr. Butler.
Coach Hester always does a good job. Raptor fast. They're playing fast, quick. Chris Parsons, their quarterback, I believe going to Mississippi State. It's going to be a quality quarterback for him. But I think NBA may be a little too much in week 1, so I'm going NBA in this one.
Tate Matthews, what say you?
That threw me for a little loop. I've been picking NBA all week, but I don't know, man. Dr. Hill, Dr. Qualls got me fired up. Chris Parson, I'm going with the Raptors. Coach Hester, everybody picked them last year, and they embarrassed themselves. They're the hunter this year, not the hunted. I think they win. The Raptors.
Dr. Qualls.
Nobody misconstrue what I'm about to say, please, and listen to me very carefully. He walked out, he looked up, it's a beautiful night, it's the first night. He put that visor on extra tight tonight. Chris Parsons got a cannon. This one's over, folks. Shocker. Call Krieger, because he's sliding down the hill with Martin at the Little League World Series. Raptors win tonight.
Wow. Dr. Hill, Dr. Qualls, bring it. Hey, and by the way, Tate and Dr. Qualls, I'm going to say this about our two principals. This could be our all-star principal group in terms of being ready
I'm
for
telling
these
you,
picks.
homework, man.
Do you know what he's wearing? No, I'm not talking about the safety vest.
He's wearing it. He's wearing
His
his
own
jersey.
jersey.
That's an alumni game
That's
jersey,
his jersey.
right? Huh? Is that? That means he went out there in full pads, man. Watch out. He's ready.
All right, let's skip ahead. We got a couple picks left. We got Nolensville at BGA. Dr. Hill, who you got in that game?
I think tonight is the night that the Knights get a win tonight. Go Nolensville.
So I just want to say, Dr. Hill's got some notes here. All the knowledge I'm spewing is coming straight from here, Yellow Jacket Nation. So I'm going to let you know Nolensville's united in their front. They got a quality program since they started. They're going to win over BGA tonight.
Tate Matthews, who you got? Nolensville BGA.
As long as we are on the air, I will never, ever, ever pick the Wild Kittens from Battleground Academy, ever. I'm going with Nolensville.
Is that school on the other side of Mac Hatcher? I'm not sure what's going on over there, but I'm telling you, when you play Nolensville, you don't play the athletics, you play the community. The Knights are knighted tonight.
You like that band too, don't you? All right, it's time, Jacket Nation. Battle of 840 pick. We've got Page and Fairview. Dr. Hill, I think I know, but I just can't wait for the delivery. Mr. Butler, I think I know, but I can't wait for the delivery. Who you got, Dr. Hill? It goes without saying, Dr. Hill's going Page High School. Mr. Butler, who you got tonight? Page, Fairview.
Like I said from the beginning, our theme this year is Win the Day. Jacket Nation, once again, what day is it? And we're going to win the day. Jackets take it big. Let's go, Fairview.
Tate Matthews, who you got? Battle of 840, Page, Fairview.
Hey, the Jacket Nation brought it. This is by far the best yellow jacket crowd we've had at Game Day. It's
There's
not
no
even close.
doubt. There's actually no doubt.
You could probably combine a couple of them, and it still doesn't reach this. So, Coach Hughes, wide open. He's been coaching all year this year. Mr. Butler comes out here in the Milwaukee work glasses and the vest, the alumni jersey, just fresh off an Oklahoma drill. I'm fired up, man. There's something special about this Yellow Jacket team. But I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Uh-oh.
Qualls,
That's not a good sign.
Qualls likes to talk about Hester and Blade and Ron Crawford. I think the best coach in WCS, y'all were talking about underrated, is Charles Rathbone.
Wow.
And I'm going with the Page.
Wow, Tate Matthews going with Page High School. Here's what you've been waiting for, Fairview.
All right. Let's pump
Dr.
the
Jeremy
brakes for
Qualls.
just a moment. Let's pump the brakes. I came out here and I was thinking the whole time, we've been watching this for 9 years, Tate. Year one, we're here. I picked Page on the show. Somebody left a note on my car that said, Qualls, you picked the wrong team. You know what? I was not wrong that night. I was not wrong. However, I was fully coming out here thinking, can Fairview get past what's on the jersey across the ball? And I didn't think they could. But I'm inspired tonight. I'm inspired by the Jacket Nation. You have helped me make my choice tonight.
Here we go, Fairview. Here we go, Fairview. Dr. Qualls picking the Fairview Yellow Jackets in the Battle of 840. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Game Day. Huge thanks to our title sponsor, Brock Daly and Walker Chevrolet, Gateway Tires, Street Tuxedo, Adidas, and Matthews Team Sports, Mark Parrish, also the crew at WCTV, and our OTL group. Your co-host, Darren Joins, alongside Tate Matthews and Dr. Jeremy Qualls. We'll see you next time on WCS Game Day. Let's hear you, Jacket Nation,
Fairview!
as we leave.